Hi, I'm Carrie, and welcome back to my channel. And excuse me as I straighten out the camera. Today my video is about depth year and what my plans are for that in 2023. And so you don't get bored of listening to me talk about depth year, I'm going to flip through this indie deck that I forgot to show in my other videos of the decks I bought in 2022. This is the Cottage Witch Oracle. It can be found on Etsy. The creator is Krista at Crochet Witch Wares on Etsy. And she is the Crochet Witch Tarot here on YouTube. And this is a cute little oracle, and I bought it. There was a oracle bag combo that I bought. I don't know if she's still offering the deck with the bags or not, but you can check out her Etsy shop. I'm pretty sure she said she had put some extra decks in there. And it doesn't come with a guidebook. It's she has a PDF to a guidebook, and she tells a little story about the symbolism of like the turtle and then what the moderation means to her. So you could print that out if you wanted to. I just made like little notes in a little tiny like little pocket journal about what she had felt about each thing, but I'm really using this deck intuitively, so it's not in order because I've been using it in December for my my weekly readings. Okay, so enough of that. So let me tell you about depth year. If you happen to watch my other videos of the decks that I bought in 2022, you'll know that I bought a mass amount of decks. And I had said that a tower moment had occurred that caused the derailment of depth year. And that's exactly what happened. We kind of had a tower moment here with our house where the bathroom upstairs was leaking through our kitchen ceiling, which caused a huge amount of damage and the bathroom had to be gutted. All the pipes had to be changed, all the fixtures, everything had to go, and the plumbing from the upstairs all the way through the basement had to be changed. So there was tower moment number one. Tower moment number two was a long-term relationship of mine of 30 years basically came crumbling down. And, that is that's a difficult thing to deal with. Add on to the stress of a home reno. And if anybody's ever been through a home reno, you know what kind of stress I'm talking about. Because this reno was so extensive, we couldn't do it. My husband's not a plumber, so it was above his head of all the stuff that needed to be done. So we had construction guys and plumbers and this coming in and out of the house, and anybody who's gone through anything like that knows how stressful that is. So I tried to cope with it and everything that was happening the absolute best way I could. Throw in your day-to-day stresses of just everyday normal life, add in the stresses of trying to help my son, navigate his senior year and prep for college, and the tower fell. It was too much to deal with. So I got a doctor telling me, you have got to get your stress under control. You're going to end up in the hospital, when your blood pressure is over 200. And yeah, so I tried to figure out ways to work through the stress And I use deck buying as part of that. Is that the right thing to do? No, it's not, but that's what I used. And that's how so many decks came into my household this year. Now that I have a better handle on things, I have a better plan in place for 2023. And I don't think I'm going to call it depth year, because that was just, it just, calling it that triggers everything that I went through this past year. So I'm just going to call it 2023 is going to be my low buy year, with some extensive rules put in place in regards to purchases. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I have to use decks in 2023 that are new to my collection, that have never been used or hardly used before. That is just a hard, fast rule that I'm putting down for myself. The only bend in that rule is the decks I use for clients. I'm going to use whatever I want to for clients, but for myself, for any other reason, they have to be brand new decks. I have to get to know the decks that I brought in. I'm not going to start getting rid of the decks, because I do not purchase decks a second time. So I need to work with them and figure out how they're going to work for me, or if they're going to work for me at all. This is the very first time ever in 20 some years of collecting decks that I actually feel that deck overwhelm. I never felt that before. I never worried about that before. So yeah, I've never felt that deck overwhelm feeling before, and this is the first time that it's actually affecting me. And that was a big sign of, okay, yeah, you're done now. This is changing. So another rule that I have is I cannot buy more than one deck per purchase. Because when the decks were coming in this year, I was getting in 4 decks at a time, 6 decks at a time, 10 decks at a time. And who can go through the amount of decks like that when they're coming in those large groups? So I am not, excuse me, I am not allowed to get in more than 1 deck at a time. And I am absolutely not allowed to buy a deck every month. Those are two rules that I really want to stick to. It either has to be, I really don't even want it to be every other month, but that's what I'm kind of allowing myself. So that basically means I'm not allowed to have any more than 6 decks come to this house next year. And I'd really not even like it to be that many. There are only 2 decks right now that I am actually wanting. And next month is my birthday in January. So I'm thinking of ordering one that's the indie deck. I think it's in pre-order right now. It's the Tarot of Oneness. And that's a pretty hefty purchase. So, for just one deck. So if I get that, if I do end up purchasing that, I may force myself to not buy anything for the next 2 or even 3 months after that. And the only other deck that I definitely know that I want to get in 2023 is the new Seasons of the Witch Oracle, which I believe is the Mabon. And that's not even coming out till spring. So, I think it was spring. I might be wrong about that date. So those are 2 rules. So only decks that are new can be used to read with. No buying decks every month. No mass purchasing of decks. I don't care what kind of sale is going on at Llewellyn or Hay House or whatever. No more of that. Also, no buying just because of a sale. There's another rule. And I'm also not allowing myself to bring any more spiritual decks in, or spiritual books, not decks, spiritual books in. I have so many spiritual books that I have not even opened the cover of. It's just, I'm done. I've reached that point of being done. And I know this video isn't everybody's cup of tea and things like that, but maybe there's someone else that is kind of feeling the same way, where they've been buying and buying and buying, and they've just reached the point of, okay, I'm done. So I don't know. I guess this video is for you. Sorry, I probably just hit my mic. So yeah, I guess maybe I'm speaking to you then. Because, I know that I can't keep going like I was going this year. And I know why I was buying the decks this year. I've never in my life brought that many decks in to my house in one sweep. Ever. Never. And I've been buying decks, my gosh, I'm turning 53. So I've been buying decks for 20, 23, 24 years. And have never brought in that many at once. So those are my thoughts about depth year. And like I said, I'm not going to call it that. I think I'm just going to call it low buy year. I'm going to put these rules in the front of my journal, so they're accessible to me all the time. I'm going to, really make myself accountable for whether or not I would happen to break a rule or whatever. And yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. And I like I just said about the Tarot of Oneness, because it's really the shipping, I think, that causes the deck to be so much more for me. But I say that, but I had no problem bringing in 10 mass market decks that cost the same much as that one indie deck. So there was kind of like a disconnect there that I needed to, work through or work out, I guess. So yes, those are my plans for 2023 and how purchases are going to go for me. And I know, like I said, this video isn't for everyone. If you've tried a depth year and it didn't work for you, let me know in the comments. Or if you're going to try something similar like I'm going to do and set some rules in 2023, let me know that in the comments also. So I really appreciate you if you took time to watch this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me grow here. And so until next time, bye.